Tom Panos, no John McGrath, no Troy Malcolm, but there is Seth Watts in the house, also known, aka the AI guy. And I've got to tell you, AI is red hot. In fact,
Sorry, I reckon we should live stream this. Like, if you've got like, if Seth has got really good stuff to show, why don't we just live stream this?
do you want to, Seth?
Yeah, you know me, Matt. I can think I'm a
Okay,
I'm
go,
fine.
Susan. Go live stream it. That's fine. It's good. It'll help Seth with what he wants to do. Yeah, go live stream.
Okay, now I need to set it up.
Again.
1 sec.
And if John, so we're starting again, right, Susan? Everything.
Yeah. Let me just live stream this. Okay, we're going live now, and we're still recording, so I'll just edit the start.
We're live. We're live on your podcast. We're live on your social media, well, probably Facebook right now. Team, so excited. $1 Million Agent. I can't remember the last time, I don't think it's ever been done, Seth. The last time I did a podcast minus John McGrath. He's not here.
John's had a big day, so I think he's got a good excuse today.
He's had a very busy day, but Seth Watts, one of the great thought leaders of real estate, met him in the world of printing and publishing, but these days he's known as the AI guy. And I've got to tell you, so looking forward to, your presentation at Ready 24, which was about 2 weeks. It was actually 2 weeks.
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago. Incredible presentation on how real estate agents are using AI to actually either get a listing, make a sale, build their personal brand. This is here right now. And real estate agents that aren't using it are basically now having a disadvantage, right? Disadvantage.
Absolutely, Tom. Absolutely. And before we get started, I got to say, there is one industry that is not going to be disrupted by AI. And I just got my tooth filled. I'm a bit numb, and dentistry has got no worries about AI. So apologies if I'm a little bit lispy, but we're going to do our best today as my the Novocaine wears off today.
Did they give you anything to numb it?
That's why this side of my face may be less expressive. But we'll let the AI do the talking. So I'm legit today.
So Seth, one of the biggest challenges I've seen over the years as someone that is involved in presentations and talking to real estate agents in teaching is the ability to take a topic and move it from ideation to execution, and have the ability to then allow that person to use that information in a way that can help them in our business. Anyway, let's talk about real estate. I mean, basically, there are 3 pillars in our business: get a listing, make a sale, and increasingly build a personal brand. You're a big believer, as I are, that once your brand is super strong, it actually acts as a layer of prospecting. I mean, it attracts inquiry to you, right?
Absolutely. The attraction agent is gone from theory to reality in every sense of the word. Correct.
Now, Seth, this Thursday, you're going to do a presentation at News Corp in Brisbane for the real estate gym. But that presentation that you did to around 1,500 agents at Randwick Racecourse 2 weeks ago at Ready 24, the feedback I got was you were the star of the show, ahead of both the Andre Agassi and also that soccer coach.
Well, listen, I think AI is the star here, Tom, because I think all of us are sort of getting it now that this is going to be a game changer. And it's funny, Tom, because you and I had this chat a week before I did that presentation. You're like, mate, listen, the fancy stuff is good, but you've got to translate it to agents and their day-to-day. And I did that. And I actually reckon that was the magic. It was that translation. It's where you started this presentation, that the fancy stuff is great, but it's how do I today help manage my buyers? How do I do better with vendor, tough conversations? How do I get out there and deliver a better outcome for my customers? And I think that's what I want to talk about today, like the real stuff. Like, how do we actually help everybody watching today do better work?
Okay. So Seth, you said to me that you've had real estate clients since Ready actually do things that you covered in your presentation, and they're getting results. We're a results-oriented industry. At the end of the day,
right,
we get paid for the results, you know, and I think actually that soccer coach, and I keep forgetting his name. I do know his name, but
Tony Gustafson, something similar.
That's it.
Gustafson, thanks.
He fundamentally says, let's face it, at the end of the day, whether you're in real estate or whether you're a soccer coach or you're a soccer player, you will be judged for your results, right? That's your results. You've been able to help, you know, agents straight away get, you know, price alignments on properties. In some markets, the only reason why a property is not selling is that they're not getting the vendor to accept the reality of the market, and you were able to show how you can do that with AI. You also played a beautiful prospecting call and showed the advantage that AI has with prospecting, like no feelings. Keep making those calls, even though, you know, you're getting resistance. So, yeah, I'd love to, mate, what were some of the things that you spoke about at Ready that agents can actually start using, including crucial conversations when we live in a world of having to deliver bad news to people?
Yeah, and bad news that requires behavioral change, right? And I had 3 separate clients come back to me over the last couple of weeks, and a shout out to all of them because they know who they are. But and they were sort of thinking about, well, how do I go to this next step of getting AI to do work for me that's going to help me move, either sell property or list it. So there's a couple of areas that I think are worthwhile talking about, right, Tom? So the first one, which I just thought this was brilliant, is if you think about the most difficult conversations we have to have as an industry, I reckon the price adjustment conversation has got to be up there. That whole conversation about Mr. and Mrs. Vendor, listen, I know I told you that it was going to, you know, that I thought we'd get 1.5 to 1.6. The market's telling us differently. We're going to have to make that jump to get the interest. Like that whole conversation is just never easy. And what I had from these 3 clients is they saw this, and I didn't see this, but they saw the fact that, hey, great, what if we got ChatGPT to help me with those conversations? So Tom, I know we're live streaming, so I think I can do this demo, and I'm just want to show, it's easier to show this stuff maybe and explain it as I go. But what they did, so what I'm looking at here is this is Ignite, this is REA's backend platform, and this is the platform that tells us with sale estimates and a whole bunch of other stuff. So, you know, a cool backend, most of us have access to this, right? But the genius here was this. What they did is they literally went and they cut and paste this page. So I'm going to do something slightly different.
By the way, everyone, those that are listening to this on podcasts, I'm letting you know this episode will be put into my YouTube page where a lot of the training content goes. You can actually visually, so as you're listening to Seth, understand you can actually see this whole episode on YouTube. Over to you, Seth.
Great. So Tom, what we're looking at is basically just the summary and the price. So what these agents did was just genius, is they took all of this really valuable market information. It talks about property history, recent sales. So it gives this beautiful overview on what's happening in the marketplace, right? They cut into ChatGPT, and I've got this great little tool that we can cheat on this. And then what they do is they say, write a letter to a stubborn vendor suggesting a price reduction. So this is what they're asking ChatGPT to do, and suggest that a price reduction is the appropriate strategy to drive buyer interest. In other words, they're asking ChatGPT to have this difficult conversation for them, and they're going to use real data, in this case, Ignite. So a price reduction, let's just say, Tom, of 10% from 3.2 million to, let's just pick a number, 2.9 million, right?
Yeah.
So literally, this has taken me 2 seconds to write this out. Look what happens. So we go through, and again, this is just a cool little interface for ChatGPT, but it goes through and creates this amazing piece of content. I hope it finds you well. As we navigate the dynamic market, our goal remains to ensure your property gets the best price. Then it goes through and says, great, based on what's happening out there, We actually suggest this price reduction. It gives all of the language that's so hard to do, right? So let's have a quick look. It gives all the language. The suggestion is not made lightly, but is backed by compelling evidence. This is the estimated selling range, our proposed price. It's just really nice language, Tom. And because it's using this call to authority or this like all this data from Ignite, it just sounds super scientific. So you're having this conversation, you're doing it in conjunction, and ChatGPT is putting all of the words for us together. I like this because it allows us, I think, as an industry to sort of take data that's freely available to us and actually use it to help us achieve things. I've had clients who've done this now, and they're getting like 60, 70% of vendors agreeing after receiving these types of emails to the price reduction. And I think we all understand how powerful that is because, you know, price is going to drive interest, it's going to drive results. And if this type of thing, it's so easy to do. And it sort of allows you to really step up pretty quickly with AI. So that's sort of my first tip.
Is that so, Seth? For those that are watching and listening, is that what you just showed there? Is a simple Chat GPT account, or it's an added third-party platform that is talking to Chat GPT, or is that?
So listen, Tom, for my demo, I've got to get up on stage and show this stuff to people. So I wrote that little app, and what it does is it takes the page, takes the prompts, and bangs them together. So that was just something we developed. But if you're just using ChatGPT, all you have to do, cut and paste the data from Ignite, ask to write the reduction, and it'll do it. That's all we're doing. There's no secret here. Anybody with ChatGPT, even the free version, can do this today. Like, and for God's sakes, don't wait. Like, this kind of stuff should be in your toolkit right now. If you're not using this stuff this afternoon to get price reductions, I just reckon you're leaving money on the table because anybody can do it.
Great tip there, ladies and gentlemen. When you adjust the price, the magical buyer always appears.
Always comes, right?
Yeah. What Seth has demonstrated there is your job is to interpret data and then convey that data. What he's been able to do there is through AI is to deliver it in a way that delivers it better than what you probably would have been able to deliver. Because I don't think we're great at giving people bad news, right?
No, and we're not all bloody, English professors either. So it's not, not all of us can go through and do this kind of stuff. And ChatGPT, we're all kind of English professors now, right? Like we can create this beautiful prose. And Tom, what I love about it is it feels so scientific, right? Like it really does feel like, you've presented yourself as the property expert, you've presented yourself as the expert negotiator. This is really consistent with your listing presentation.
Okay, let's move on to the second usable AI tip you want to share today.
Okay, so I'm really interested, Tom, in scalability, right? Because I reckon, especially for good performers out there, like they're dealing with multiple properties at the same time, multiple listings, tens, if not hundreds of buyers simultaneously. So we banged out this next example, and there is a bit of tech here. So we're sort of downloading buyer lists out of Ignite. So Ignite gives you, if you've got 100 buyers, you click a button that says download the Excel file, and you can get all the buyers. So let me show you what we did with that, because I reckon this is an absolute ripper. Okay, so this is a video of what we did. And this is sort of what what you get out of Ignite, but you could get this out of any other tool you're using on the door to collect buyer information as they come through, or off your website or whatever. And normally it's going to have the buyer name, his or her email address, their mobile, which property they visited, if they have a property to sell, and some comments, right? Like, yeah, this has been around about 30 years. It was either on a piece of paper or on a spreadsheet. Now, I've been a bit fancy here. Tom, I've added language because I want to show a cool party trick. But what we did here is we downloaded a product called Numerous. So Tom, if we can get this into the show notes, Numerous, and it's a little plugin for Excel. And the thing I love about Numerous is it's kind of similar to that last example where it allows us to do AI in Excel in a really cool way. So let me show you what it does. So the first thing we do is we go to one cell, we call it response, and then I'm going to cut and paste it's like an Excel formula, right? And it says write a response, and then instantly it then writes a response. But these responses are magic, because I want you to, and I'm going to stop here. And so for the people listening, I'm going to explain what it's done. But what this has done is it's read, I've got 12 buyers here. John, the first buyer, says, I love the backyard and the open floor plan. And so what this tool does, it says, hey, John, thank you for attending the open home and for your positive feedback. The spacious backyard and open floor plan are great features. I'll reach out on Monday for a further chat. So it actually, when you're doing your SMS responses back on a Saturday, it starts to make them custom. But where it gets really crazy cool is here on the screen, Lee, who is clearly a Chinese native speaker, gives us feedback but wants a response back in Chinese. So it automatically creates a Chinese response that you can cut and paste into iMessages and send off. Or Maria wants Greek. Olivia had some problems. She thought the living room is too small. So it talks about, hey, great, let's talk about how we could work with that on Monday. So all of these, Tom, are really, really fast ways to create a personal connection with buyers. And as I've said thousands of times, I reckon buyers are the biggest opportunity in this industry because we don't today have time to give them the attention maybe they need. ChatGPT and generative AI is going to allow us to do that. So you want to say something cool?
While you're there, can I get you to stop sharing for a moment?
Yeah, and I'm going to show you a party trick in a sec. But yeah, go on.
Oh, sorry. You want to show it to me now while it's continuing? Show it to me.
You sure? Yeah. Okay, well, give me 2 seconds. You're going to have to put up a little bit of setup,
all I was going to do, Seth, is actually this will take me 30 seconds. Here is my market wrap, Seth, on Saturday in my car. Yeah. Let me just do it here. We go here, share. Here is my market wrap in Korean.
Oh, mate. I love it. Let's see it.
하고 있지만 결국 서로에게 상당히 알려져 있는 사실로 드러났습니다.
Oh, I love it.
그리고 나는 그들이 결과에 영향을 주려고 함께 일하고 있었다고 믿습니다. 이것은 증명하기 어려울 것입니다. 하지만 실제로 일어난 일은 이렇습니다. 입찰을
Now I'm going to stop sharing. Seth, I can't tell you the amount of people on social media that are non-people that don't know me that says, can you please confirm, is this you or AI? Because it actually comes across extremely believable, right?
Oh, absolutely.
I've had people on YouTube go off that were speaking in that dialect and say, because you probably don't understand, and he's gone off and he's translated it all in English to people, right?
Yeah, and what you'll find though is the translation is genius. I mean, it's brilliant. Like I've been mucking around with some of these translations, and your audience should know this, right? Like the quality in the olden days when you ran it through Google Translate, translation was a bit hit and miss, right? But with ChatGPT or with Claude, whichever one you want to use, like these translations are amazing. Like native speakers are sitting back and going, my God, how did you get the dialect of, Northern Shanghai perfectly? And it's really powerful stuff. And so, I think there's areas we've got to be a bit careful with Gen AI, but translation is not one of them. Like if you want to send out translated documents to your vendors, I think it's, except for contracts, never do contracts, but other stuff, I think you should have real confidence and start right away. That can be our next tip.
Party trick, Seth.
I was going. I think you've stolen my thunder. But I was going to show. We were mucking around up on stage at Ready 24 what a Saturday afternoon would look like. So we said, great, you take your buyers. We'll do the responses, and then stuff it. Let's not SMS them. Let's do something similar on video, and let's do this right.
Sound, Seth. There's no sound.
Give me a sec. We can make it work, mate. Let's share screen. Best laid plans may not work on this one, Tom. You know what? I'm actually not even gonna try the technical stuff because I'm gonna have to undo AirPods and all the rest of it. We're not gonna get away with that.
For those that can't see the screen, we brought up an image that had you, whatever. So what was it? What was the
So what we did is we took all of those 12 responses from the spreadsheet. We then dropped them into HeyJen, and we said, great, we want to create custom videos for every single buyer, so that every single buyer in their language of choice got a, g'day, Tom. I just wanted to say thank you this afternoon for coming to 123 Maple Street. I loved your feedback on the garden and the living room, and I'm looking forward to following up a call on Monday. So that workflow where, just imagine if you're a buyer. So you meet Tom on the door at the open, you then he then sends you a bespoke video, for God's sakes, on your phone that says, thanks for coming. And it's in Mandarin if I'm a Mandarin speaker, or in Greek if I'm a Greek speaker. That type of multimedia video buyer management is really becoming easy. And the crazy thing about HeyJen, Tom, is you can upload a spreadsheet straight into HeyJen. Not only will it build all the videos, it'll email them out for you automatically. Literally one button and you're done. So that kind of technology starts to show us what the future looks like, right? Like, we're going to be sending out 10,000 prospecting videos on a Sunday, and every single one of those prospecting videos is going to be customized, multilingual. And the future is now. Like, when we think about this, like, this stuff, is it perfect? No. Is it available today? Absolutely. Is it going to change the game for agents who take up with it? Absolutely. You know, I mean, so this ain't the future anymore.
It's not that's, I reckon you've summed that up there, because I think that we've been hearing about AI for years. We've been hearing about the robots, the world's changing. And then somehow seamlessly, a bunch of people now are using stuff that is all AI, and they're not wearing white scientist jackets. They're not,
Yep.
you know, they are me.
It's you and me, buddy.
Yes.
You're doing it. You're doing Korean podcasts, for God's sakes, out of your car. Like, it's crazy. And it's not even that hard. You know, and I just reckon everybody out there, like, you know, we figured it out. It didn't take much for us to do it. And now is the time to start playing with this stuff.
Seth, I'm particularly intrigued, and I don't know what the third tool you're going to speak about. Maybe this is it. Maybe we can make this a third tool. And I'm particularly intrigued because real estate is all about, like, fundamentally, it's all about getting stock. If you've got stock, and if you're in Blenheim, they're going to sell in 100 days. If you're in Beecroft, they might sell in 50 days. If you're in Belmore, they'll sell. Properties do sell. So it's getting listings. And my whole life is built around prospecting, getting prospecting. Now, prospecting, Seth, you played a phone call at Ready, which I believe was a prospecting call. I can't recall, but
It wasn't quite a prospecting. It wasn't quite a prospecting call. It was a Monday follow-up call because we were doing this game. But having said that, turning it into a prospecting call, Tom, actually, you know what? That could be a fun thing for you and I to do over the next couple of days. We maybe want to turn this into a prospecting call. You can give me some scripts and we can spool it up. So maybe we say, great, we'll show a follow-up call today, but then you and I can set ourselves a project. We'll get out to your audience what modern prospecting will look like. You if you're up for that.
100% I am. And I'd love you to be able to, and by the way, everyone, if you need a guy to come and do a presentation, and trust, look, I know he's with Campaign Agent, and he set up, he's the founder that set it up, one of the founders, but I've got to tell you, his content on AI is unbelievable. If you want stuff that's executable, I want to work on that prospecting, and I'd love to be able to show it on Thursday, a prospecting. I have listened to AI prospecting calls, you know, and there are bits that I really like about it. One of it is the persistence and the resilience of the caller.
Yep. So, I mean, so this is a bit risque what we're about to do, right? So this is not a prospecting call. This is a Monday follow-up call. Got my phone, so we're going to give it a crack. A few of you would have seen this at Ready 24, but let's get AI to call me, and then Tom, I'll have a chat with it. So I've just visited a property over the weekend, and let's see how it goes. You good?
Okay, everyone, listen on. This is an AI callback.
Help me with the audio here, mate, because this is a little bit exotic. Can you hear that ring?
Nope.
Seth speaking. Oh,
bothering you, or is it?
oh, sorry. I'm gonna have to try that again. I told you this. You know, we're on the cutting edge, mate. Here, we're gonna have to play. Could you hear him, by the way?
I could hear it then. Yep, could hear it.
Good. Give me a sec. Just be quiet while I do this. Hello. I am great, Michael. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. I'm just giving you a quick call following your visit to 123 Maple Street this weekend. I wanted to check in and see what your thoughts were on the property.
You know what? I really liked it. I thought the kitchen was good. Property had a good flow. And the garden was beautiful.
Yeah. Did you have any questions about the area that I can help clarify for you now?
I do actually. I don't know Canterbury that well. I've got kids. What are the schools like around there?
So, Seth, I'm going to stop it. The audio is not coming through. I pick up bits of it, right?
I'm
But
sorry, Matt. We're
I
giving
can
it a
tell
crack.
you that I did listen. I just want to confirm that phone call there was a live call just now. You responding. It didn't know what you were saying. That has.
So yeah, that's like full AI. So I've scripted like the basic flow of the call, which is what you and I will do for this prospecting call, and then I've gone through and built out like a little database of objections, so that stuff, but it'll still freestyle. So if I go off the reservation, it'll follow me and it'll do its best to bring me back. So it's a combination of me trying to control the flow, a combination of objections I regularly hear, and then it also will actually deal with situations. I mean, this is absolutely cutting edge stuff. But as you sort of look at where it's going, Tom, we are in my business, in Campaign Agent, we have got mock-ups of collections agents now who can make a debt collection call. And they're more compliant than a real human because they know the rules better and they never forget them. So this type of stuff, this stuff is not today. So we saw some technology that's today. This is not that. This is, I reckon, 6 months away before somebody has the guts to actually put this in market. But Tom, we've spoken about creating the first 20 million GCI agent. We've spoken about growing your farm area from 2,000 homes to 2 million. This is how you do it, right? So you put a combo of video marketing, combo of buyer management, a combination of prospecting, buyer post open management, etc. And the other point that we haven't talked about is sort of even things like communication automation and reading all the documents for you, giving you summaries, not actually having to go through everything, especially things like contracts. Like AI will read it all for you and give it to you in a 5-point summary. You can see the genesis now of what a $20 million GCI agent looks like. They've got all these pieces and they build these pillars to go out and get scalability.
Vendor reports must be a now AI thing, 100%. Like a vendor report, after what I've just seen you do, vendor reports, they chop that down in an instant.
Oh, instantly. And and you put things like Realtor together plus some of the AI stuff, like because Realtor does this stuff pretty well, but you combo it out with Gen AI, and it's like mind-blowing how easy it is. And it's funny, Tom. I mean, we always say you've got to do the hard work, and great agents just sit there and do the hard work, all of which is true, right? But by the same token, I reckon Gen AI is going to allow the hard work to become a whole lot easier, and a whole lot higher quality, for a lot less effort. So it does feel like a bit of a revolution.
Seth, absolutely brilliant. Is there anything you want to add to before we go?
Mate, no, that was a fun session, a bit of a freestyle thing going on, but that was good.
Man, guys and girls, Seth Watts from Campaign Agent, also known as the AI guy. You can find him on the social media platforms, Seth Watts, AI guy. You type any of those things, he will come up. Absolute pleasure. The future is here. Listen, if you don't like change, you're going to hate extinction. And I've got to tell you, that statement is truer now more than any other time, right?
Yeah, that's smart, Tom. That's a good way to finish.
Thank you so much. See you next week, everyone.